Hey there, friend. I'm Corianne, and welcome to another week of our Rooted in Grace devotional series. This week, we are leaning into loving God above all else. So grab your coffee, pause your to do list, and for just a few minutes, let's open our hearts to a little truth, a little encouragement, and a whole lot of grace. This week's scripture comes from Matthew 22:37 through 38. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. Loving God with all our soul speaks to who we are in our inner being, the essence of who we are. Our soul is the seat of our identity, our spirit, and the place where we find peace and purpose. To love God with our soul is to give Him not just the surface level moments of our life, but the deepest parts of ourselves. It involves surrendering our ambitions, dreams, and fears to Him, trusting that He is a greater purpose for our lives than we could ever imagine. When we love God with our soul, we begin to reflect on His character, His peace, His grace in all that we do. Loving God with our mind calls us to engage our intellect, our thoughts, and our understanding in our relationship with Him. It's not enough to love God with our feelings alone. We are called to love Him through intentional study of His Word, meditation on His promise, and seeking wisdom on how we live our lives. Our mind is constantly shaped by the world around us, but when we focus on God's truth, we transform our thinking to align with His purpose. Loving God with our mind invites us to be intentional on how we approach the world, to change worldly views, and to think critically about how we live out His commands. And again, we have some reflection questions, and you can share them in the comments. You can message them to me personally or journal them in your notebook. What does it look like to love God with your whole heart, your whole soul, and your whole mind in your everyday life? This can feel complicated, but really, it's all about intentionality. What would it look like for you to love God with all of you? How can loving God above all else transform the way you approach relationships with others? This can be difficult, but once you start loving God above everyone else, it really becomes simple. Your journal prompts this week are pretty easy and straightforward also. You can share them with me or you can share them with just your prayer partner or your journal. Evaluate your daily routine. What's one way you can intentionally put God first each day? A morning prayer, Bible reading, or your worship. It really is one of those things that if you are struggling with intentionality, find an accountability partner. They will really help you with this. Next, consider areas where you may have unintentionally placed other priorities above your relationship with God. Are you scrolling on your phone? Are you watching Netflix? Or are you doing something that is going to put your relationship with God in the back burner? Your prayer prompt for this week: ask God to help you grow in your love for Him. Commit to putting Him first in your thoughts, actions, and priorities. Thank you for joining me for week 3 in Rooted in Grace, a 16-week journey to a Christ-centered life. I really hope you're getting something out of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I hope to hear from you soon.